Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
Hello, welcome to the Popternative podcast, the podcast and talk show where we have digital discussions through the worlds of TV, film, pop culture, news, lifestyle, music, everything really, depending on the guest. We talk about it all. As always, I'm your host, Peter Remoliotis. On social media, you know me as PD Beats. You will soon recognize my guest from a show dropping on HBO Max called 12 Dates of Christmas. We were Garrett Marcantel. Garrett, welcome to Popternative, man.
Thank you. I am excited to be here.
I mean, it's an exciting time. Almost a little bit of calm before the storm, right? Like the show's going to kind of drop and, you know, like you're kind of, the anticipation is everywhere. It's buzz. There's holidays around the corner. I mean, it's must be an exciting time right now.
I mean, like, I think we definitely need a show like this more than ever. And I myself need to watch this show. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely really excited. I don't think I have any idea what's about to come my way, to be honest.
It's crazy because it always happens like this. You know, you're active on social media, you're hyping, you know, the trailers and excited and everything. And then, you know, it's going to drop and then it's just going to be, it's out there and people have access to the interactions. Are you kind of prepared? Are you preparing yourself for that?
Well, I mean, HBO Max is a huge platform.
Yes.
And when I first heard about 12 Dates of Christmas, you know, my first reaction was like, a Christmas dating show? Like this sounds like super different, but I was like definitely about it. And if any network could pull it off, it definitely is HBO Max. And it was one of the most insane, amazing experiences of my life.
Well, it's funny you mentioned, I'm really happy you mentioned that because the one thing, you know, I like watching the episodes. I mean, it's one of those things where, yeah, you know, people know about The Bachelor, Bachelorette, Love Island. They know about those dating shows. They know about all the reality shows. I mean, this reality show, though, it looks like a movie. You know what I mean? It's on HBO. It looks like a freaking movie.
I mean, it basically is a movie.
It's basically a movie.
I went into a real life rom-com. I mean, that's what it says, and it's really what happened. I mean, I didn't know anyone or anything when I showed up in this castle. Mm-hmm. And I pull up. I remember getting out of the car the first time and I'm looking at this real castle, and they're like, this is where you're going to be living. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be so much fun. and then meeting everyone, and it's like everyone is just as excited and just as nervous. And then you throw all of the stuff that production creates as far as these experiences, and it just you can't help but to feel the emotions and feel the excitement.
In terms of, you know, your involvement with 12 Dates Christmas, I mean, there's a lot of kind of things happen, you know, but you had this opportunity to be on this show. When you're kind of making a decision to go on a show like this, Garrett, what's kind of going through your mind at the time? I
mean, why not in a way?
Yeah.
I hey, I'm single, I'm living in New York, and there's no better other time when you're still in your 20s. So I was I'm not getting any younger. And I also I loved summer camp as a kid. So this is as an escape from normal world. And if you can meet someone in a stressful situation like this, it's probably a good read of who that person is. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I was open to it. And also I love Christmas. So this was something that really excited me because it's just different.
Well, it's pretty funny because, you know, dating shows, reality shows are massive. And then anything Christmas related, Christmas movies, Christmas shows are also massive. So it's kind of worlds are colliding, so to speak. You know what I mean?
I mean, we'll see how massive it is, but I mean, I don't think that they would have created such a big experience if we didn't expect to have a big audience. But I think ultimately what I'm most excited about is to share this journey with everyone because it was something really special. So I'm excited, especially because we've all had such a stressful year, and this is something that everyone can just literally escape to a castle in Austria with us.
Absolutely. There's you mentioned kind of it's big, you know, it looks amazing. I mean, did it kind of blow your mind a little bit when you kind of saw clips and playbacks of what it looked like?
I mean, this thing, yeah, it's like a real castle. Like, this is Game of Thrones type stuff. Like, like they didn't like cut out anything. Like, this is crazy.
It's crazy. Anytime you like, whether it's, on a TV show, whether it's, real life, working, in real life, there's always going to be learning experiences, right? Like, we're never going to stop learning as human beings. For you on this show, what were some kind of learning experiences for Garrett Marcantel that you can kind of take to, the next kind of phase of your life for the real world? Like, what did you learn doing the show, Garrett?
I mean, a lot about myself. Like, I'm having to meet people that I would have never met in real life, right? Like, on a day-to-day, they were just living in another city, and I'm all of a sudden like on a date with them in the Alps. And I like, look, I mean, I think in my head, I had like a certain type, we always like, oh, like this is your type of like what you like. And I thought like I had figured out my type necessarily. And I think I was surprised by like what I found in the castle. And definitely like, everyone has such a unique story, and definitely like it's worth to hear those stories.
But it's one of those things too, where anyone who watches 12 Dates of Christmas, I mean, the format is not like the format of these kind of like the reality show of dating and choosing. Like it's like nothing you'll ever see before. It's completely different to what people are used to, right?
And that's like the hardest thing, because I'm in my head like, okay, well, like Love is Blind was like this, or like Too Hot to Handle, or Love Island, and so you're like trying to think of like how they're going to.
Man, there was a lot of those shows came out recently.
Like the big storm of reality television in the castle, and you're like, I'm just gonna hang on and like.
Because I watched them all, but like I literally, until you said that, I forgot about Love is Blind. Like I watched that whole thing, but I forgot about it.
Yeah, no, our showrunner, Sam Dean, she did Love is Blind. And our production crew was like incredible. I mean, we're living with them. They become family as well. And it was like, it's something that like you go into an experience, it's like Big Brother, and, you think it's going to be like one way, and then it like becomes something completely else. And it was so fun. It was really special.
People are going to kind of get to know Garrett Marcantel on 12 Dates of Christmas, but is there anything about yourself you can kind of share to our viewers right now about, maybe stuff they won't see on the show about you? What are your interests? What are you into? What are you doing when you're not on an HBO Max Christmas dating show? You know what I mean?
Well, I love big cities, and that's what's been really hard for me during this year, just because, like lived in New York for the last 5 years, and to see like the museum shut down, and, like the nightlife shut down and all that. It was a little bit hard, but I definitely returned to, I would say my first love is nature. So I spent a lot of time outdoors this past year, which was really nice because I used to be a park ranger. And so I visited some of those parks. Also, I definitely re-found my love for like spending time with my family. So yeah, I'm just kind of a normal down-to-earth guy from Louisiana, and then I moved to the big city. So I'm kind of like a hodgepodge of an American, to be honest.
There's a lot of content out there to consume, and I'm sure you have dabbled in watching some TV shows here and there when you have time. But it's kind of one of those things where you're on this TV show, and you see kind of the anticipation of it online. Does it kind of blow your mind a little bit where television is right now? Because it's pretty crazy and pretty like it's a pretty big platform right now. Like the last 5 years of television, it's like the golden age.
I mean, the streaming world has completely changed everything.
Yep.
And it's kind of fun to hear my friends talk about the different shows that they're binging. And especially now during quarantine times, I mean, it's like you're in everyone's house. And so it's a little weird feeling that like, like I'm maybe like in some middle America's family's home. But I think at the same time, like I have had like a really cool life to live in New York City, and I've met a lot of really amazing people, and from that I have a great I don't know, something great to offer as far as my dating experience. And I think that, being a gay man, I don't think a lot of people get to see what dating in the gay world is like. So I'm excited to share that with.
Yeah, they're going to have an opportunity to see that. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not like I think people have these like ideas, like a gay person has to be like this, and it's like, no, like it's every type of person. Like we're literally, so I think it's cool that you can see so many different types of people represented in this show. And I'm just excited to kind of just spend the holidays with everyone across America.
Absolutely. And I think like the answers to these questions are going to be kind of what you just talked about. You know what I mean? Like, you being, a gay man looking for kind of a new relationship and everything. I mean, what were some things that you were besides, finding love, what were you kind of looking to take away from your experience with 12 Dates of Christmas? And what do you think the audience is going to take from it as well, Garrett?
Yeah, I mean, look, I agreed to do this show because I knew that, number one, it would challenge me as a person. And number two, that I would meet someone probably very special that would be able to join me in this journey. And we would forever have this piece together. And so I think when people are watching this, I think they're really going to see my journey. They're going to see me go through some struggles, a lot of laughs, a lot of like uncomfortable, weird, awkward moments. And that's what makes it like the best, right? And then all in this like crazy Christmas scene, because you have like grown adults like wearing Christmas onesies and like,
yes,
like doing like childhood type of Christmas activities. But, and it's like through that, I'm really getting to know these people and they're really getting to know me. And I think that's what's something really unique about this show is, it's not just, about like one specific thing about like how hot this person is, it's a lot more about like the character and like what I really want in life and also hearing like what they want.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, Garrett, thank you so much for coming on Popternative to talk about 12 Dates of Christmas. This was awesome.
Thank you. So nice to meet you, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, it's dropping pretty soon on HBO Max, November 26th, I believe.
Thanksgiving Day. So we're going to have 3 episodes that will launch Thanksgiving Day. 3 more December 3rd.
That's the new thing now, eh? They want to build. They want to build the anticipation.
Yeah. So I look forward to sharing this all with you guys.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. Where can people follow you on social media to keep update with everything?
My Instagram, Garrett.Marcantel. 2 R's, 2 T's.
Perfect, man. Well, thank you so much for doing this, and all the best when the show comes out. It's an exciting time for you, I'm sure, so enjoy it, man. Enjoy every second of it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative. For previous episodes, you can check out Garrett Marcantel in 12 Dates of Christmas, dropping on HBO Max. And until next time, this is Garrett and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.